Hello buddies, welcome to Mordheim, City of the Damned. My name is Game Knight. Let's meet the Witch Hunters. The Witch Hunters are a very old organization dating back to Wolfgard Krieger, who had assisted Sigmar in his duel against the great necromancer Nagash. For his heroism, Sigmar awarded Wolfgard with a silver chain and made him responsible for the pursuit and investigation of all matters pertaining to witchery and the forbidden arts. Knowing that the task was beyond the powers of only one mortal man, Krieger founded the Order of the Silver Hammer, with the Emperor's blessing. This event marks the founding of the Witch Hunters. The Order of the Silver Hammer was not publicly known to the people of the Empire until it was made official in 1682 by Grand Theogonist Siebold II. Few outside the Order know that the Witch Hunters have a history which predates this event. In 1999, Mordheim is destroyed by a twin-tailed comet and the Witch Hunters are sent there. Witch Hunters tend to be a surly and suspicious lot with no qualms about killing innocents as long as they also manage to slay the guilty, which means their appearance is often regarded with dread by the common folk. The tall hat and dark cloak or coat is the distinctive garb of the Witch Hunter, almost like a uniform, and often they carry the symbol of the twin-tailed comet as a sign of their membership in the order. Witch hunters wield rapiers and pistols simultaneously. They also make use of knives, stakes, torches, holy water, chrisms, blessed ashes and other relics to further increase the suffering inflicted upon their foes. The warband consists of the following warriors. All suggested builds are in the description below. The warband's dramatis persona is High Capitular Wilhelm Krieger. He felt called to a different path and took the oath of the Order of the Anvil, but he could not sit idle in Wolfenburg Cathedral when the Grand Theogonist has proclaimed Sigmar's punishment upon Mordheim, and he needs your help. He wields a mighty great hammer to smite his foes, but he can also use a Sigmarite hammer and a shield if more protection is needed, though the heavy armor he wears does offer a great amount of protection in its own. Krieger is able to take on any abomination as he shall know no fear. He also carries his prayer's tome and are able to cast an array of beneficial spells on his allies. These initial spells are used to protect his companions by enhancing their defensive capabilities and striking fear in their opponents. Due to his devotion to Sigmar, he is less likely to be struck by divine wrath, and his presence inspires his allies. As the warband progresses, more spells and abilities become available, as you can see here on the left. His role is to protect the warband as you progress through the story missions, but he is also able to deal massive damage if needed. The Witch Hunter leader, the captain, have total authority to perform whatever action they deem necessary. Anyone who dare oppose a Witch Hunter captain will be summarily executed. They are proficient with many weapons, but tend to prefer using the sword in close combat and the crossbow pistols at range. They are also trained in using all the different armors, but lean towards their cloth as they favor freedom of movement, and they do love their trench coats. The witch hunting business is dangerous, and because of that the witch hunter captains are blessed with a resistance towards magic. In their hunt for witches, the captains have learned to be patient. This gives them a natural aptitude in melee when dodging their enemies to find the time to retaliate quickly. This warrior is well suited for melee and should be given skills that complement his ability to retaliate cheaper when dodging enemy attacks. The Templar Knights. They are children of noblemen that seek a position for themselves by offering services to the temple of mankind's gods. Those who serve Sigmar usually end up in the warband of a witch hunter captain, where they are granted the chance to prove the scope of their faith by giving battle to the creatures of chaos. Armed and armored in the finery befitting their noble birth, they can wield many different weapons. Their armament of choice is the sword and shield, combined with the heavy armor and helmet for added protection of their valuable lives. Templar Knights are nevertheless untested warriors, and their lack of experience can make them overeager in combat, yet their faith to Sigmar will help them to remain ever vigilant. The Templar Knights are best suited for melee combat, where they excel at engaging several enemies. The second hero for the warband is the Grim Witch Hunter, who is renowned for their determination and courage just as much as they are infamous for their pitiless methods and merciless justice. Usually they hunt alone, but the scope of the corruption infesting Mordheim has drawn packs of witch hunters to it, banding them together under the authority of witch hunter captains. They are trained in a plethora of weaponry ranging from daggers to hunting rifles, making them very versatile. They are also trained in wearing any armor available, but do tend to prefer their trench coats so they can remain mobile. As with the captains, the witch hunters are blessed with the protection of Sigmar, which makes them able to resist magic. This comes in handy when searching for heretics to purge. The witch hunters are best used as melee or ranged DPS warriors. The third hero type for the witch hunters is the warrior priest. Among the ranks of Sigmar's clergy, the warrior priests emphasize the martial aspects of their god and are a formidable sight to the enemies of the Empire. Wielding immense warhammers that can shatter skulls and crush bones, a warrior priest is an imposing foe. They usually wear heavy armor to protect them when going toe-to-toe with their enemies, but they are proficient with any armor except for the helmets, as they obscure their vision too much. More than their physical strength, however, it is a warrior priest's devotion to Sigmar that endows him with his deadliest abilities, harnessing the divine power of his god and unleashing devastating forces against his adversaries and bringing redemption to that of his allies. When the warrior priest deals damage in melee, he will have an easier time channeling his spells. His initial spell is one that helps against wordstone and poison effects. His many spells and physical attributes make him very versatile and can be used for many roles, though he is the only one that can fill the role of being an offensive healer perfectly. See the spells he can learn on the left side. Casting aside the shambles of their old lives, men who have suffered great losses become zealots, vengeful pilgrims on a quest to destroy the minions of chaos wherever they can be found. They may not be the best fighters, but they have many proficiencies in both melee and ranged. Though they may be proficient in weaponry, they do lack armor training and can therefore not use heavy armor. Many zealots were once peasants or craftsmen. What they lack in martial experience, they do make up for in bitterness and rage, which they use in their search for vengeance. These men are best used as frontline fighters where they debilitate the enemy. They are, however, fairly experienced with ranged weapons and can be used for that as well. Flagellants are fanatical madmen who wander the roads and byways of the provinces. They join with the witch hunters on the holy crusade to cleanse Mordheim and restore Sigmar's grace to the land. Frequent floggings of their bodies with barbed whips have made flagellants very adept at wielding a variety of weapons. They favor the great flail when unleashing pain upon their foes. A flagellant's scars is their proof of devotion to Sigmar, which is why they tend to only wear cloth armor. While the flagellant is very devoted, he is also talentless and will amount to nothing more than a henchman. Not that he minds at all. His fanaticism, however, grants him incredible courage and makes him a valuable asset for the witch hunters. The flagellants are well suited for one thing: melee combat. They can tear apart most enemies with their great flails, and they can stand their ground against any impressive. Few sights are more terrifying than that of an executioner approaching his victim. Great two-handed swords and double-headed axes are the weapons of choice for these killers, tools with which they've become quite accomplished in the course of their gory trade. They wear cloth armor and a classic hood to conceal their identity, but when more protection is needed, they can don leather armor and a metal mask instead. These guys take their job very seriously. They carry weapons doused in oil and lit on fire so they can easily burn the witches they encounter. They are fearless warriors and will always fight until the bitter end, which is usually those facing them. Nor will their arms tire, so every blow they strike is with the same force. But this burning rage also makes them unable to stop to collect items or consume potions. On their backs they carry a horrible pyre with a burning witch inside. This inspires allies to hold their ground and strike true. When thrown to the ground, the executioner only fills one role: melee damage. But they do so very effectively, and skills should complement this. This warband is very versatile and can fit any playstyle, but are considered a very strong melee warband. One of their greatest strengths is that they have a dedicated healer type hero. What they do lack is specialized ranged warriors, and their racial abilities are fairly weak compared to others. The warband can take advantage of DLC hired swords that are order aligned. For example, the axe wielding divine spellcaster Wolf Priest of Ulrich, or the rifle wielding trap laying smuggler. If you want to see some gameplay of this warband in action, click the annotation on the left. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a wonderful game night, cheers, and stay cool.
A new round has started.
And we have 3 guys going before their leader, so we should be able to do this. I don't know if they're gonna rout instantly, so let's see what happens. Let me just get... This is a bit cooler for the starting image. Let's see. Nope. Cool. Thank you. I get to take my turn.
Objective
Awesome.
completed.
And a buff from the Woodstone. They're at 12. Well, that's cool. I'll take a dodge. Draco's turn. Can you loot something then? A hammer. The Hammer of Sigma. I've found a relic. No, Draco, just